Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back from the weekend and it just got crazier. Let's talk about it. The Tatum hotline is finally live, so we're going to get to those messages at the end of the show. Nick Cannon is getting backlash for him and Amber Rose talking about these nasty, crazy Democrats who should all be in jail, in my opinion. Anyway, Bob Costas takes a firm stance on transgender athletes. Thank God for him taking a stance. Democrats are mad because TSA workers are now getting paid. How are you mad because TSA workers are getting paid when y'all tried to leverage this against Trump? But before we talk about any of that, let's talk about these retarded people doing the No Kings protest. Welcome to the Tatum Show.
I want everybody in this room to have that same spirit, that same identity carried in your life.
Make sure that you go through life and find your purpose.
And we don't do this just to get a pat on the back. We do it because we came here to win.
And it starts with you understanding that God has a purpose for you.
This is the time to be more bold than ever before.
We're all Americans at the end of the day, and we should love one another. We should be focused on what's right for our country. All right, ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back to the Tatum Show. Yes, I said the word retarded. I think these people are retarded, okay, for messing up everybody's day, going out there in the middle of the street, talking about no kings in a country that don't have a king. Talking about no kings in a country that fought against that, I think, what was it, 1776? I think we were done with the king a long time ago. And then y'all supporting, all right. I can get crazy on this, but shout out to the members. Hey, thank y'all for being members. We really appreciate y'all. Like I said, we're going to make the most robust membership program. Shout out to everybody that won the trivia. We got a new trivia coming up this week, so make sure you participate. Also, for the members, if you are going to stick around for the post-show clarity, which is our post-show thing that we do where we just, after the show, we kind of let our hair down, for lack of better terms, and we just go over certain topics that we enjoy. And then sometimes we answer questions and do different things. So if you're interested in that, do that. Also, we've changed from 30% off the store to 40% off for, I think, SWAT team members. So if you're a SWAT team member, you get 40% off the Officer Tatum store as a discount code. All right? So let's get to the hotline real quick. I just want to tell you what the number is. We'll get to it at the end of the show. It's 480-788-1858. We put a bunch of eights in there so you will remember it, okay? 480-788-1858. You can leave us a message, and if we like your message or if we can get to your message, we'll put your message out there, all right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the No King protest, which is the stupidest thing that have ever happened on planet Earth, and it tells you how stupid and ridiculous people in society have been. America's never had a king. I don't want to hear nobody say anything about kings. It is impossible for America to have a king because we have co-equal branches of government. Y'all literally filibuster and try to take over everything that Donald Trump is trying to do or try to dismantle everything that Donald Trump is trying to do, but you act like he's a king. The man wasn't the president last term, was he? Y'all had Joe Biden in there who's half dead. So how do you have a king when the man didn't even get elected in consecutive terms? That means you don't have a king, stupid. Okay. But they still push it. I was in Seattle over the weekend, going to a UFC fight. Shout out to Dana White and the UFC. The best production on planet Earth, in my opinion. And we going down the road to get to the event, and we see these mindless idiots holding signs and marching down the street while you have homeless people sitting on the side of the road shooting up on fentanyl and on blow, hanging over like this. They walk past them to go talk about Donald Trump. Do you know how stupid you are? The taxes in Seattle is crazy. Washington State taxes are crazy. Cost of living is crazy. Downtown is crazy. And y'all walk past all that to talk about Donald Trump. Woo! I'm sick of y'all sorry, ashy elbows. Okay? Let's get to this first lady who admitted that these people are coordinating an effort. This is not organic. This is not people just coming out and trying to do what's right for America. They're not doing that. These people are stupid. And they're coordinated. People are getting paid. Come on, roll the clip.
Sarah Parker. I am a 5051 national coordinator. We're a partner with No Kings. And tomorrow we're going to have over 3,500 events across the country. And we think it's important to be out in the streets at this moment in time to save our country. I expect this see people that love their country, that were the resistance against mass men taking the streets and terrorizing their communities. I want to be really clear, No Kings is a coalition. It's not a organization, and 5051 is a movement. It is not an organization or institution. It's a movement. It is a movement.
Oh, okay.
It is not a nonprofit. It's not an institution. It's not an LLC. This is a peaceful and disciplined movement. The events will be overwhelmingly peaceful. And there are going to be millions of Americans from different affiliations, different ages, and different ethnic backgrounds coming together to be in community, not only to be in community because they're upset or they're angry, but to be in community and show joy, love, and a resistance to this administration.
These people stupid as a mud. I can't believe it. We had evidence. I think Jim was telling me, my COO was telling me about how Fox News wrote an article. Did we get that article? Fox News wrote an article regarding who is paying for this stuff, right? George Soros and another guy who I think he lives in China now or something like that. I don't know if we have his name. Do we have his name? Yeah, but when you get a chance, look through it and let's let the audience know what the person's name is. I forget the guy's name. This gentleman is supposed to be from America, a billionaire, living in China, and then he's funding this stuff, allegedly. So we shall see. We'll get back to it. Let's get to some of these clips real quick. This is just an example of. I think you still had the mic open. I can't hear myself. All right, there you go. So let's get to some of these No Kings clips of these idiots out here doing this. This is just what they look like. Look at it. Just people spending their time. And you got to ask yourself, where they getting all these signs from? Where they getting these signs from? The thing is that, in my opinion, that appears to be a lot of work to get those signs and coordinate them, and they all look good. You telling me everybody can draw good like that? They all coordinated. What they're doing is they're building these signs. They got a coalition of people doing it. They're passing them out to people, and these people cannot think for themselves. They just hate Donald Trump. That's all this is. TSA workers aren't getting paid. Donald Trump signed an executive order to pay TSA workers. They don't give him no credit for that. Joe Biden was in office doing all the same crazy stuff that they claim to be complaining about right now. Epstein files was not released under the Democrats. They refused to. Didn't even want to bring it up, act like it didn't exist. You name it, Democrats did it. Barack Obama deported more people than Donald Trump. What are we saying? Kids in cages started with Barack Obama. No protest. Why? These people are stupid. I'm tired of being nice to them. They're stupid. This is not a difference of opinion. These are stupid propagandists that are getting paid to push an agenda because they hate the Republican Party and Donald Trump. This is what they do to try to manipulate elections. There's no way in the world that these people believe this stupid stuff. Walking past homelessness, walking past trash, walking past all the ailments in their own community, walking past violence and young boys getting shot in the middle of the street, walking past all of this stuff to go and protest about Donald Trump that has no effect on their city, no effect on their states. These people live in sanctuary cities. Okay. His name is Neville Roy Singham. Am I saying that right? Neville Roy Singham. He's an American-born tech tycoon who lives in Singapore. I mean, what is that? Shanghai. He lives in Shanghai, and he's over there manipulating interests of America from China. And now I don't know how people can get away with this. You see money funneled into our country to interfere in an election staged as organic protest. That sounds like a crime to me. But anyway, here's some more footage. Wrote a clip. Vandalism. Criminal damage. He got a dress on. Hold on, bruh. Is it just me, or can we identify that these are the people in our society who struggle with mental illness? Like a rational person isn't walking around like him. This fool got a dress on with a keffiyeh. You go somewhere where they really wear that thing, and you tell me if you can wear a dress or not. You'll be wearing a dress hanging off the edge of the building before you hit the ground head first. In Iran. But y'all out here doing it. No sane people are doing this. These are the insane individuals in our society that are perpetuating this behavior. Like, I don't understand. Even if you're a Democrat, you're a liberal, can't you see that that's what's happening? The same people are pushing transgenders in sports. The same people are saying, no kings. While they support countries who actually have dictators and kings. What are we saying, bro? What are we saying? All right, we got some more clips. Let's get to some sound bites from Tim Walz with his sorry self. Roll it.
And I will add a special thank you and a special acknowledgement that we will never leave the side of our Somali Minnesotans.
Even the Frosters?
Here's our pledge to you. Our Somali Minnesotans, your great-grandchildren will still be here when that orange clown is in the dustbin of history. You will be here.
And hold on, go back. Show me a Somalian in the crowd. This ain't nothing but stupid white people in the crowd with made-up signs getting paid to protest. I don't see a single Somalian in the crowd nowhere that you can find. But he's broadcasting in the ether that we're going to stand for Somalians. I swear before, I'm trying not to blaspheme the Lord. The Lord knows that I'm right about this. These people are so stupid and mindless and retarded that they are willing to sacrifice their own freedoms, abilities, sanctity of life for somebody that don't give a fuck about them. I cannot believe these people are out here with signs protesting to their own demise. In Minnesota, you got Somalians doing fraud. 80% of them are on government assistance. That means that all the people in this picture is paying taxes for them to use. They doing billions of dollars worth of fraud. And you are here protecting them, and they won't even show up at the protest. I don't know what to say. Look at this guy. Nothing but white people. You don't even really see black people out here. None but them white folks. These crazy white folks. Just stupid. Look at this guy. Roll it.
Out of office. Yeah. Would you like J.D. Vance to be the president then?
No, I would not.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who would you like to be the president?
Kamala Harris right now, but she didn't win, but
Can I point out something that we say no kings and no authoritarianism, but Kamala Harris, no one voted for her.
Yes, they did. Half the country voted for her, so let's not go there.
No one was voted for her to be the nominee.
Yes, they did.
Isn't that what, authoritarian?
You're going down the wrong road right now with me. I wouldn't go any further.
What does that mean?
I'm not going to talk to you anymore. That's what it means.
I just think it's ironic that no one voted for her to be the nominee. They just selected her like a king gets selected, right?
But keep it to yourself, okay? Bye. Have a good day. See ya. Take care.
What's your other sign say?
You don't need to see it.
Okay.
None of your business.
Somebody touching his butt. That's like a man, somebody touching his butt got him weird. It's just a gay old man. How you gay and old? You think you would have grown out of that gay phase. But then he doing that with that mask on, can't even take constructive criticism or even argue his points. Nobody voted for Kamala Harris in the primary. They selected her. That is the crazy. I don't understand how they did the same thing. Well, Hillary Clinton actually got Donald Trump elected. because I think Bernie Sanders would have been a huge contestant against Donald Trump. I think he would have. They had momentum. They had all the stupid young people who have no values or don't even know what their values are, who are worthless in this country, going to college and doing nothing with their life, and they pissed off because people decide to explore capitalism and they're making money and they don't have no value. They don't add no value to it. They think they can just sit there and somebody supposed to pay them a check every month. They think they supposed to show up on a job because you wasted your time getting a degree that don't mean nothing, and somebody's supposed to give you a job because you went to college. That's how stupid. They don't create nothing. They don't support the creation of nothing. They want to tax the rich when they boss is the rich. They don't want to pay no extra taxes, nothing. These people are stupid. They are the worst people in the world. And the reason they're the worst people in the world because they live in a free society and they're squandering it. It's a difference between a person that's doing bad that don't know better. The worst part is when you got a person doing wrong that know better. That person is worse. Come on, Scott Jennings has something to say. Let's roll Scott Jennings.
Well, these No Kings rallies actually look pretty representative to me of the Democratic coalition. I saw people flying the hammer and sickle in New York City. I saw Hezbollah flags. I saw Hamas flags. I saw Palestinian flags. I saw trans signs. I see weirdo liberal boomers out there. This is pretty representative of the Democratic coalition, and that's who funds it as well, by the way. And so I think if America looks at this and says, what do the two parties stand for? They got it at the No Kings rally.
No, I think if you Americans were out there, out there, Republicans.
You like hammer and sickle? You like hammer and sickle flag?
That's not what that No King stood for.
They had a bunch of them.
That, and that is
they come from somewhere.
All right. Out there.
All right.
A lot of common flags.
What? Every rational American is saying the same thing. Like the Democrats are not representative of anybody. This is all tomfoolery. No rational person. They're not rational. Dudes with skirts and what are y'all doing? This is not the average person that's going to work trying to take care of their kids. But here's a reasonable person. And I don't know if he came from China or not. He looked Chinese, Asian. But his common sense tells me that he has wisdom either by experience or because he actually reads books. Roll the clip.
You support the protest.
I don't even know what they're protesting for.
They're protesting that Trump is a king.
Well, I don't think he's a king.
Why don't you think he's a king?
Well, what constitutes making him a king? There's a lot of leaders in other countries that they're dictator.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, but I think U.S. is probably the most democratic society already.
Yes.
I mean, it's not perfect, right?
Yeah.
It's not perfect, but they're not good. So far they're good compared to many other countries.
Yeah,
right?
Like Trump's good compared to other countries.
Yeah, I mean, you have to compare. You cannot just say, he's not perfect, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this stuff that he do, I don't like. Some stuff that he do, he's doing good.
What do you think about people saying that socialism needs to come here in America?
Need to come here?
Yes, people want socialism in America.
Well, this country is founded on what?
Capitalism.
That's right. So it's not socialism.
Yes.
So if you don't like that, they can go to any socialist country to live.
Yeah, they can go to any socialist country to live.
Right.
Yeah. Why do you think they don't go?
They like the freedom, but the other side they contradict themselves.
It's funny because the simplicity of that man's speech, it encapsulates what an average normal human being should be processing in their minds. Donald Trump is not a dictator. Donald Trump is not a king. Donald Trump does things that I agree with, and he does some things I disagree with. The country is not perfect. What are we comparing perfection to? What is it? Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Like, what are we comparing America to? Another country? Well, what is that country doing? And why don't you live there? Oh, because you're not free there. Oh, because you can't go there with $25 in your pocket and become a billionaire. Oh, I forgot. Oh, you don't have the freedom to choose anything because it's communism. Oh, you want free stuff, but there comes with a price that you don't want to pay. Oh, you hate America, but this is the only country that you don't have to die for to have freedoms that somebody else died to have, for you to have. You don't even have to join the military. You can sit and complain like a coward every day of the week, and you don't add no value to this country. But yet you get everything that is available to offer. Just complete stupidity. How do y'all fall for this stuff? How is there people that are saying that are Democrats? I get the people that are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs being Democrat. They don't care. They stupid anyway. But like people that are educated, you actually pay taxes, you go to work for a living, and you're a Democrat? How? All right, let's get to the other topic. Donald Trump, like for instance, I want to frame this real quick. And then we're gonna get to this in a second. Let's frame this real quick. TSA workers were not getting paid, yet they were going to work. Many of them had to quit. Many of them are probably in debt because they worked over a month and a half with no money, no checks. Donald Trump, because Congress can't get their sugar honey iced tea together, Donald Trump said, I'm going to take executive action to make sure they get paid. Donald Trump should have a vote for every TSA worker. But guess who mad? Democrats. Before we get to that story, I want to tell you about Shenergy just real quick. Y'all see me drinking Shenergy every single day. It's because it works. If you're looking for complete energy, here is the only company in America that's doing this. We have the day drink for you to get good, sustainable energy without the crash, natural ingredients, no sugar, none of that crap. And then you have the night drink where you get sustainable sleep, no sugar, none of that crap. And then you wake up with energy. That's complete energy that no company in America is doing. Nobody's doing it. They don't care about you like that. They want you to take all this caffeine, and you can't sleep at night. You up all night, and then you get up, and you need caffeine again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. So they can get rich off of you. Instead of telling you that you need to get sleep, which is your primary source of energy. But only Shenergy doing this. So if you care, hit that QR code right there or go to ShenergyLife.com. All right, let's get to come on. We hot today. Are we hot, y'all? Crowd, are we hot? We hot today. I don't care if 3 people watching this. We on fire. Come on, let's play the clip. This is what Democrats think about Donald Trump when they should be kissing his butt because of what he did for TSA workers that's out there grinding and not getting paid. But this is what these Democrats feel about y'all. Every TSA worker need to watch this. Roll the clip.
Well, what we just heard from that TSA union rep is the person standing up for those hardworking American workers is the president. With that executive action that he took at the end of the week, they're now getting new money into their bank accounts finally again. Are you thankful that he did take that action?
Well, look, the president, if he's been saying for a while that he could have taken some action so that would have never had this issue. He could have told Johnson, make the deal. But he did not.
But he is the one who actually did take action, not the Congress so far. Do you support and are you thankful that he did take action when you're saying that the hardworking American worker of TSA have been the people caught in the middle?
The president, they should have never, you heard that agent talk about how they were in debt. The number of extra interest and penalties, etc. That should have never happened, and the president could have prevented that from happening.
Just so you know, let me interpret what he said. He don't give a about you, and he don't care that Donald Trump did that because Donald Trump did it. If a Democrat would have done it, he'd be all open arms and saying how great and wonderful that the savior has come back and paid TSA workers. But since Donald Trump did it, he don't care. He hates you. They hate y'all. They're going to go to their house and get their check, and they get on TV and talk crazy to you. They don't care about you. They just need a vote. They don't care if you're dead or alive. They just need your vote. All right. Here's Jim Himes. Is that what it is? Roll the clip.
Practically speaking, ICE is already funded. In fact, it's one of the few DHS entities where people are getting paid because they had so much funding from the president's last bill. And now their portfolio is expanding because they're in American airports across the country. So what did...
I want you to listen to her very clearly. ICE, the whole Democrat plan was that they did not want to support ICE, so they made TSA workers pay the price for it. They knew, I knew, you know, she knows, everybody knows that ICE workers are already getting paid. So trying to stop funding for ICE workers don't matter because they have already been paid. The budget has already been allotted. Nothing that they do will stop ICE right now. So why would you put TSA workers in that position? Because they wanted TSA workers and they want the chaos, so people think it's all Trump's fault. They knew better than what they did. Now she called him out, and this is what he said. Start the clip from the top. This is what he said. I'm not going to talk. I'm going to let it play. Roll it.
Practically speaking, ICE is already funded. In fact, it's one of the few DHS entities where people are getting paid because they had so much funding from the president's last bill. And now their portfolio is expanding because they're in American airports across the country. So what did Democrats get out of this standoff?
Yeah, well, Margaret, the standoff is not done yet, right? The president is illegally paying, apparently, TSA agents. You had the Senate, as you pointed out with Mr. Homan, pass a bipartisan bill unanimously in the United States Senate to say, look, let's fund everybody else and let's deal with this thorny issue about ICE. And then you had the Republican House say, hell no, we're not doing that. And by the way, mock their own Republican leaders in the Senate. So, look, this thing is still very much live for one very simple reason. We can talk about House, Senate, changing law for one very simple reason, which is that the vast majority of Americans look at the way ICE behaved with the murder of 2 American citizens, with the constant knocking down of doors of American citizens without warrants, people dressed like they're, airlifting into Fallujah to...
Real quick. They deported 600,000 people. They've only had conflicts with about 120 Americans who were American citizens that were inaccurately detained. 120 versus 600,000, and another couple million people self-deported. What are we talking about? They're acting like the exception is the rule. It's only a few people out of 600,000 people who have been inaccurately detained and released. What are we saying here? These dumb idiot devils are trying to make people think that the mass majority of what ICE is doing is that. It's a lie from the pit of hell. It's only 2 people that have been killed that we know of, and it was in the same city around the corner from each other because they both stupid. All right, roll the clip.
Do the legitimate work of going after illegal aliens in this country, and they say that is not okay, and that's our position. Our position is very simply, we want ICE to act like the police force that they are, and that fight is not won yet. And look, I'm sorry it got tied up. I'm sorry that the Republicans on one side of the Capitol said this was a good idea, and on the other side of the Capitol they called it a joke. But we're ready to negotiate around something that is not a radical demand. We just want ICE to act like proper police officers.
So in the meantime, the president's redirecting existing funding to pay TSA agents. You said he was illegally paying them. You believe that he is violating the law in this interpretation that the White House says they have?
Well, it's not that I believe it, it's that I know it, right? I mean, if there's one power that Congress has, it is the power of the purse. Now, this president has, of course, consistently and universally said that he, in fact, has that power. But any American that went through fourth-grade civics, no, they should be paid. They should have never been held hostage. And we had a deal come out unanimously from the Senate that if it had passed, right now they would be getting paid, and we wouldn't be talking about the constitutional power of the purse. But Mike Johnson, leader of the House of Representatives, said hell no to what his Republicans in the Senate said yes to.
Now, that's the ploy. Okay, just say Republicans House and Congress or the Republican Congress is the problem here. Donald Trump isn't the problem. I thought you said Donald Trump was the problem. Well, if Donald Trump's the problem, then why is he paying people? He would just let them not get paid because he's lockstep with the Republicans. No, what happens is the Republican Democrat in Congress can't get along. And so Donald Trump has to be daddy in the room and say, I'm going to pay these people and find a way to pay them. And this fool go, he illegally paying them. What, should they not get paid? Okay. Here's a TSA worker congratulating or supporting Donald Trump. Roll the clip.
What is your message and the message of those that you represent to Congress, to perhaps the president as well, about having to continually go through this every time Congress is supposed to be passing bills that pay the bills?
Well, I have to say thanks to the president for signing the executive order to pay us. But I also have to say that there's other parts of the Department of Homeland Security that aren't being paid, right?
Everybody in TSA should be thanking Donald Trump. All right, let's get to Bob Costas on the trans athlete issue. This is a little bit of older video from I think over the weekend, but I want to play this because this is crucial. A lot of people are too cowardice and they're wusses, and they don't want to stand up for anything, and they're afraid of getting canceled. And so we're going to talk about this, and we're going to get to Nick Cannon, because I have to talk about Nick Cannon real quick, because Nick Cannon and Amber Rose was on riding in the car saying stuff that the black community is going to lose their socks over. They shouldn't. They should care, but they don't care. And then we're going to get to the voicemails, because I want to hear from you. I want you guys to hear, some of the people that left a voicemail. And if you want to leave a voicemail, go ahead and leave one. We'll listen to them. And if they're interested enough, we'll put them on the air. So let's get to Bob Costas real quick about the transgender ban of being in women's sports. Let me say this before I start this. It's very simple. I wouldn't care, and this wouldn't be an issue if it wasn't an issue of fairness. We all know it's unfair. I don't give a what these people say. It's unfair because you would never in your life, I'll put my life on it, you would never in your life see a trans man competing against men in any meaningful sports. Never, never, never will you see a woman transition to a man and win a single race. But every time you see a man turn into a woman, they winning. It's clear that it's not fair. Roll the clip.
You were the face of the Olympics for so many years. This news today about the IOC basically banning trans athletes, that there's going to be a genetic test.
Yeah.
Your reaction to that and this very complicated issue?
It ain't complicated.
Give me enough time to address this so I'm not misunderstood. There are people who use this issue cynically for political purposes, and they're demonizing people who happen to be trans, who should be treated with respect and dignity and understanding. However, common sense is not transphobic. There's a reason why the high school champions don't compete with the college champions. There is a reason why no trans man who was once a woman and has become a man has ever competed successfully with men in the Olympics. If Caitlin Clark could play in the NBA, everybody would applaud it. That'd be an incredible thing. But if the last guy on the bench of an NBA team went to the WNBA and started averaging 40 points a game, everyone would know that is BS. There's a reason why Sugar Ray Leonard, who was a contemporary of Mike Tyson, didn't fight Mike Tyson. They were in different weight classes. There is a reason why there are men's and women's sports, and why Title IX was one of the truly progressive pieces of legislation in the best sense of the word progressive under the Nixon administration. It changed everything. I had a sister who never played a single organized sport. One generation later, 2 children of my own. My daughter played just about as many organized sports as my son. That's a great thing. It doesn't make any sense to have a swimmer who was the 472nd ranked swimmer when he was a man at Penn, either winning or coming close to winning against women a year and a half after transitioning. If that's what the person wants to do, that person should be treated with dignity and respect. But there ought to be common sense, and common sense is not transphobic.
And this policy is common sense.
Yes, this policy, the way Kirsty Coventry laid it out from Lausanne in the clip that you played is exactly correct.
Drop the mic. Argument over. What are we talking about? Common sense. We should have never been here. People are stupid. People are evil. They're going to burn in hell one day for being so evil and stupid. And they're intentionally doing it. I'm not saying somebody who don't know better. I'm talking about these people who know better. Like this idiot that we're getting ready to put on the thing right now. Quit lying. You a dirt. This is why people don't like y'all. Put on the camera. This is why people don't like y'all. Just, if you want to be a transgender, do what you want to do. Nobody cared, bruh. Some of y'all, nobody know. Somebody like you with your nasty, stanky booty self, we know you trans. You won't even fake your voice. You sound like Barry White. And you want somebody to treat you like you a girl. Damn, get some women some respect. Ain't no woman walking around voice like mine. Except Britney Griner. And I don't even know if that's a girl. I seen her with her shirt off on a video. How you got your shirt off? You supposed to be a girl. You can't show your things online. Oh, unless you not a girl. Y'all talking about somebody that's suspicious. I need to see a birth certificate. Britney Griner, if somebody find that clip, we'll put up. Britney Griner, her voice deeper than mine. She sound like somebody's uncle. Yeah, just go take the ball and hit it over there. And then you rotate like this, and then you do the three. What? You a girl. I seen big girls with a girl voice. You got a dude voice. You sound like my cousin. This is why people don't like y'all fools. Just transition on your own. You want to, like anybody else that's doing something in their personal life. Man, be gay on your own, bro. There's a lot of other gay dudes that want to hang out with you. Quit messing with straight dudes. Don't mess with us. We ain't want nothing to do with you. That's how you get killed and stuff. You trans, you go on a date, tell a man you trans. Maybe they into it. Don't add people to your stuff. You want to be trans, you got to sit out the sport. Let's have a trans category or whatever. Why don't y'all want that? Now you want to beat up on innocent women. Stay in your lane, gangster. All right, let's play a clip of this fool. Roll it.
Opinion and summary of these rules is that the rules are outdated. They're going to, cause real harm come Los Angeles in 2028. What they are trying to do is sort of reduce a person's entire biology to a single SRY gene, which simply isn't how sex works or its links to sports performance. I mean, there's zero evidence that the chromosomes are a reliable indicator of athletic ability. Athletic ability is shaped by, a variety of factors such as physiology, hormones, training, nutrition, and, opportunities to training. And the idea that this protects fairness in women's sport isn't really backed by science, and it needs to be questioned.
Isn't it? Because people have that perception that someone who's been born a man, has gone through puberty, they, make testosterone, they're taller, bigger, stronger, potentially, and then transitions to a woman. The perception from some is they have an unfair advantage. And we've seen that in certain sports that have led to bans. Cycling, for example, springs to mind.
Yeah, and exactly. And this is where I slightly disagree with the framing of the story here. I don't think this ban specifically is aimed at transgender women, for example, because the transgender women are already banned, as you said, from cycling, from athletics, from swimming, as these sports you're talking about. I think this ban is more aimed at, female athletes with sex variations. I think that's more where it's at. And in terms of, to answer your question of, obviously, of transgender athletes who are assigned male at birth transition to female, the actual evidence base for whether these transgender athletes have an advantage or disadvantage in transgender athletes specifically is very inconsistent. It's very diverse. It doesn't.
All right. I'm tired of listening, homeboy, with a frog in his throat. Listen, we wouldn't even be talking about this if it was nothing going on, would we? Think about this. If trans athletes were just blended in, we wouldn't even know that they were in the sports, would we? They'll just be blended in. No, because they win every time. They're on the podium every time. All right, we got Britney Griner. Come on, put Britney up, man. Listen to this girl, man. Listen to it. Roll it.
Way down. My first friend, Mikey, he did it, barely made it, making this turn. I got on that board, got down in my stance. I was coming down. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna make it. So I jumped off the board and my momentum was going so fast that I literally was like, I almost tripped and I was gonna go head first into that. And I went into this wall.
And I almost hit my pee-pee on the wall. I almost went head first and hit my weenie on the wall. That's what and almost like the next iteration of what I'm not trying to make fun of Britney Griner. I mean, she's probably a good person, but it is very interesting that her voice sounds like that. And I'm not saying that nobody needs to change her voice. If she's a girl, man. But I'm just saying, don't y'all find that to be interesting? I see Britney Griner on the TV, and I'm like, she a girl. And I heard her talk one time, and I said, what? She sound like that, and she look like that? And she married to a woman? She may have like asexual, what is it called? When you're born with sexual ambiguity. I don't know what it's called. Hermaphrodites. Yeah. There you go, hermaphrodite. Dang, Nick, you answered that question way too fast. I need to check on you, bro. No, I'm just playing. I need to check your search history. No, I'm just playing.
I'm gonna come.
Anyway, let's get to Amber Rose and Nick Cannon. I'm not trying to joke, but I'm like, Nick, you got way too many kids, bro. Slow down, bro. Don't be trying to work with do he got a kid with her? No, I don't think he got a kid with her. He probably want a kid with her. Yeah, he probably was. Hey, let's before we get to this, I wanna talk about Tatum's store just real quick. I want you guys to know that we got some products coming out pretty soon. Y'all let me know in the comment section. What I was gonna do is I was gonna make a shirt to say I stand with Erica Kirk, because I feel like she's getting so much unduly backlash that it's insane. And there's others that are making shirts that's against her. And so I figured, why not make a shirt that support her? And so everybody that have something to say about it will have an option to pick whether you support her or not. And let me know if in the comment section if you guys think I should do that. Maybe we should do a poll. But there's some other cool designs that are coming out, and you need to go on and get it. I'm thinking I'm going to talk to the staff about, possibly doing free shipping. You probably can't do the 20% off and free shipping at the same time. You may got to pick which one you want to do. But I'm thinking about doing free shipping or something, because I don't want it to be a barrier, a financial barrier for some of you guys within reason to not buy the product. So go to tatumstore.com, be on the lookout for the new merch that's coming out. We'll see if we're going to launch the I Support Erica Kirk shirt. I already have the shirt. I just don't know if I want to launch it. I want to get with Erica to make sure that, we can send proceeds from the shirt to something that she's into and that she wants to go to. So, because I don't want to just be doing it and then everybody complain about, Britney, you made the money off of it. And no, we will work with her to get it to where she wanted to go. So, we'll make a survey. I want to hear from you guys. All right, let's get to Nick Cannon and Amber Rose. Wrote a clip.
Part of the Republican Party.
That's right. Former Democrat, former liberal.
Yeah.
I was a liberal Democrat my whole life.
Is that because the bag has got so intense and so heavy that you had a whole nother, you up there with the elite now? Or?
Not even close, not even close. Democrats don't care about black people.
Okay,
and they don't
Kanye.
care about people, they don't care about people of color. And the Republicans do, and that's the misconception.
And you know what? I agree with you 100%.
Thank you,
People
Nick.
don't know that the Democrats is the party of the KKK.
Yep.
People don't
Nick
know
Cannon.
that the Republicans are the party that freed the slaves.
Yep.
I mean, both of you and I have some conservative views. You just a little bit more outspoken about it than I am. And I don't subscribe to neither party. I rock with W.E.B. Du Bois when he said there's no such thing as two parties, it's just one evil party with two different names. So
yeah, I mean, look, I listen, I'm not married to any party.
Right.
I voted for Donald Trump because we had two options, and he was definitely by far the better option for us. And as of now, I agree with a lot of things that he's doing.
Cleaning house.
Yeah.
He doing
But
what he said he was gonna do.
guess what? If there's a time where I don't agree, I'll say I don't agree.
Yeah. We got the Gulf of America now.
Period.
This nigga charging, he's like the club. You charging a $5 million bottle service fee to get into the country.
I know. Listen.
With Trump.
But guess what? Look at what state we're in, Nick.
Yeah.
Look at these roads.
Yeah.
There's potholes everywhere.
That's true.
It's disgusting. We pay too much taxes in California to be living like this.
That is, hey, California is all the
It's
way
in
messed up.
shambles.
Like it's a lot going on out here.
Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me because people are waking up. Amber Rose, Nick Cannon. Now I don't like him having all them kids, but he take care of his kids allegedly. But look at what they saying, because people with common sense. The thing is that there's a lot of people in my DMs that I know that are celebrities like this that are conservative, but they don't really say nothing about it. And a lot of them I respect how they move and operate, because at the end of the day, it's about money in some of these cases, right? You got contracts of people paying you hundreds of millions of dollars, and you're gonna screw it up because when behind the scenes you support organizations and do stuff behind the scenes. So I get why people are not outspoken like me, because they don't want to take that backlash, and they don't need to. As long as they continue to support those who can afford to take the backlash, I don't blame them. And I don't out them either. Because I'm like, I get it, dude. You know, just we know where we stand at the end of the day. You feel me? So there's another clip with Nick Cannon and Amber Rose. I want to play this clip real quick before we go. Roll the clip.
You used to have one of these? This 73. Yeah, my man. All right, man. God bless. Have a good day. All right, love you back.
Oh, it's so sweet. So cute.
But now, you know, that's what it's all about, man. Like you said, just being good to people at the end of the day. And you're probably one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life.
Thank you, man. You too.
I'm just saying, like, it's so
I'm
crazy.
so misunderstood.
You are.
I'm so misunderstood.
People don't. I think when they finally.
So this how Nick got all these babies. He know how to talk to the women. You are the coolest person I ever met. No, for real. Nah, baby, for real. Like, you really that person. Like, why you ain't married? Hey, what you doing later? You know, I could take you out to dinner. And they go to dinner and they. Now I'm not saying Amber Rose will go for it. She seemed like she, even though she dressed like a prostitute sometimes. I'm just saying, because I don't like the way she dressed. But she ain't my mama and my wife, so I don't care. She can do what she want to do. But I do feel like she ain't no floozy. You know what I'm saying? Like, she just throwing it at all these dudes. You know what I mean? There's women that throw it at the dudes. I mean, you know who they are. But she seemed like she got stuff together, even though she liked to dress all, you know, kind of scandalous. You know, but that is what it is, man. And look, it ain't my wife, so I don't care what she dressed like. Anyway, let's finish this clip. Roll it.
They meet you though, they be like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, they look at things at face value, right? Even when they look at our interview and stuff, they'll take little
the sound bites and the clickbait, all of that.
They'll do that, but when they really understand what I'm saying, that I'm raising 2 black boys.
Yeah.
You know, they'll understand, like, I'm not finna let my boys be victims to
talking. I'm all about that. That makes so much sense.
I don't want them to grow up and be like, oh, because slavery happened and Jim Crow happened, it's gonna be 10 times harder for you. And it's 10 times harder for everybody. Work your ass off, do what you gotta do.
Come on, sis.
Your sons to be alpha male.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Amber Rose can only be with an alpha male.
That's it.
I like that.
I'm
taking notes, y'all.
Yeah.
See?
I'm working on my alpha shit.
not like in an abusive way, but if you tell me to be quiet as a man, I'm gonna be quiet.
Like that turn you on.
I'm gonna be quiet.
Here you go. He already going down the path. He said he taking notes. He like that. He talking about turning on and stuff. Boy, Nick, boy, you got too many women out there, boy. God dang. I ain't just women. You got too many kids, man. Can I just say this before we get to the callers? Men, I understand. You know, God has conditioned my mind to be a certain type of man, but I wasn't always saved. So I understand how men, you know, God don't stop making them, right? They finer and finer every year. But as a mature man, when you in your 40s and stuff, you should be past that little boy stuff, right? Go with the woman that loves you. You know, I love my wife. She's a great woman. I mean, God dang, like I couldn't have picked. I don't even think I picked my wife. I feel like God put me and my wife together. I couldn't have picked a better woman. Like, we get along, we just enjoy one another. She's sweet, she's kind to people. Like, she don't bother me. She take care of the house. I mean, my wife, the reason I'm successful because I married her. I ain't even saying this to get no brownie points. My wife out of town anyway. So I ain't even saying to get no brownie point. If I wouldn't be Brandon Tatum if I didn't have a good wife. But young men, can you please? I know you feel compulsion to think you want to be in relations and have connection with all these women. That don't end well. Nick Cannon ain't telling you all that drama he probably going through. Look, man. The likelihood of you having that many women with no drama. Let's do a seminar. Can you tell me how you pick these that you don't have no drama with none of these women? You'll make $1 billion, dude. I'm telling you, every man in America needs to take notes from you that you found that many women you have no drama. Well, we all know that he probably got some drama for at least one of them. All right, we're gonna get to these phone calls real quick. All right. That intro was a little too quick. I didn't get to set that up like I wanted to. But you guys know that we have a call-in line. You can leave a voicemail. And I want to arrange this just like a regular voicemail. I heard like a little snippet of maybe 2 of these, and I told them I don't want to hear them. I want us to all hear these voicemails at the same time. Where I don't know what I'm gonna hear, but we're gonna enjoy them together. So if you want to leave a voicemail, just to thank me or you hate me, one of the two, I don't care. You can leave it at the number that was on the screen, 480-788-1858. So you can call in at 480-788-1858. Let's start with the first caller. Roll it.
Yeah, my name is Jonathan. I'm in Houston, Texas, and I am a Black American conservative. And I am sick and tired of I'll be glad when this rodeo gets the hell out of town. I'm sick and tired of these particularly females showing their all over the place at a family-friendly event. This is out of control, and I'll be glad when somebody stand up and speak on it. And also, this music that we are letting our children listen to that's coming across the radio. Is there any thing that we can do about that? This rap music is out of control, and it is a mantra, and it is spreading these demons all over the community. Thank you for taking my call. Bye.
I love this guy. This guy, Jonathan from Houston. Hey, man, thank you for saying that. If my mind could talk, it'll be Jonathan's voice saying that. And every black man that live in these communities, that's adult, that's a mature adult, every black man living in the communities agree with the same thing he just said. 100%. God dang, that was funny. All right, I think we got another caller. Let's get to the next caller.
You ain't my boy, you coward. What a clown. Make men again. Why don't you go fight for Israel, you lover. You filthy. You're just another muppet that dances for the system. Don't you understand all you black people are being used? They don't care about you. You're just
Tell me more, white lady.
That dances for the you. Clown. You sellout. Go to war, you clown.
What? Like, you know how miserable you got to be to call into somebody's hotline to say all that? Like, ma'am, you took your time to tell me to go fight for Israel. You know, I've been seeing that lately. People have been saying, won't you enlist? Dude, I put my time in for my country. What have you done? I put my time in fighting every single day that people are safe right here in the United States of America, which is, I would say I get more action than people that's in the military. Really, only if you get deployed to a combat zone or you in some special ops, it's the only people that get more action than police officers. I'm telling you. Some of them don't even have a gun. Just because you join the military don't even mean you walk around with a gun in your hand. You don't even pull your gun. You don't have no action. Most people are not getting no action, to be honest. So quit acting like you enlist that somehow make you shut the front door. 90%, I would say 80, 90% of people who enlist ain't fighting no war. We ain't even been in a war since, I don't know, World War II. For the most part, I'm saying majority of the people in the military is not fighting a war. Anyway, let's get to the next caller. We got 5. We got, hold on, time out. We got I think we have 4 more callers, so you guys know. Okay. All right, roll it.
Yeah, Tatum, this is Andres Rodriguez from Texas. Really don't have nothing to say. I just want to tell you, there's a video going out of a rapper named YG and how he slandered a fan on stage just because he wasn't even a Trump supporter. He didn't support Trump at the time, but he slandered his name because he didn't want to say Donald Trump. And I just wanted you to do a video on it, see your opinion. Thanks.
Oh, okay. So I know what video he's talking about. That video is 6 years old. And here's the clip in case people want to see it just real quick. I'm not going to play the whole thing. It's like 40-some seconds. The crazy thing about this is that young man came to work for me. Austin is a great kid. I think he's went on to do great things, but Austin came to work for me. So the funny thing is this kid that was in this YG post that we know here at the Officer Tatum. So I'll play the clip just in case you know, but this is a 6-year-old clip, and this is what YG did. Roll the clip.
Say it loud and clear!
Hold on, man. I don't know if I want to shake your hand yet, man. Hold on. Hey, listen. I spotted you out in the crowd. I asked you if you fuck with Donald Trump. You say you don't know. So since you don't know, I need you to make up your mind tonight. I need you to say your name. I want you to state your name because I know your mama, your daddy, your grandmama, your grandfather is watching. I want you to state your name and yell out, fuck Donald Trump. No, you won't. Get his ass out of here. Get him out the stage. Fuck up out of here.
All right. Next time, edit the cuss words, please. All right. That was that. Austin is a great kid. Like I said, he came to work for us. Real good Christian guy. Got saved, everything after this concert. All right. Let's get to the next. We got 3 more callers. Roll it.
I just want to say I am a 21-year-old black woman in North Carolina. I go to a HBCU called Winston-Salem State University. And I just want to say I immensely respect what you're doing, your opinions, your take on things. I kind of feel almost set apart from my community for being as conservative mindset as I am. Even liking the police. I just had a whole debate with my friends last week about why I actually respect the police. One day, can you just talk about maybe marriage, finding the right man? Because I'm a young Christian woman, and it's very difficult to find a man in my community that is kind of on the same timing as I am. You know, I'm trusting the Lord. I'm delighting in Him as much as I can. I really wish I was surrounded around more black people like you.
Man, y'all have no idea how much that touched my heart. It really does, man, because I know the feeling, and I was able to escape that environment and be in another environment where I could flourish. And I'll say this, and it's kind of unfortunate because I think it's easier. And now God can look, sis, if you're watching this, God is able to do anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing that God can't do. So you don't have to worry about that. God will make that happen for you. You just have to be open-minded to it, and you need to, make your plans for it. God want to see you make your plans for what you're gonna be and what you're gonna do when He do give you that husband. Because a lot of times, a lot of people, and I'm saying you, sis, I don't know you, and I don't think that this is you at all. But a lot of times, people are just hoping and praying, but they're not doing anything to advance that. Right? That means that you want a husband. You do need to put yourself out there and be available for that man to see you, right? Sometimes people are so caught up in their own stuff that they may actually see a man that's a good man for them, but they don't want to approach him because they're a woman and women shouldn't approach men. Man, you see that man out there, you at least say hi. You may not know what you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be paying for dinners and stuff, but I'm just saying, if you see a man, it's okay to be friendly with him. But God can do anything. And one thing that I learned, and unfortunately, I think it's easier for black men to do this than it is for black women, for whatever reason. Like, I felt like when you out of the dynamics of the community you grew up in, and you go out into the world of conservatism, where you're at events and everything else, you have to be open-minded to marry somebody outside of your race. And I'm not saying a young lady wants to be exclusively marrying a black man. There are good black conservative men. You need to be around them to end up meeting one, follow them online or something like that. But, I found that if you look at the totality of options for women out there, conservative black women are very minimal when it comes to how many women there are. And unfortunately, there's more white conservative women than there are black conservative women. And then depending on what your income level is, you end up in a community where the majority of the people in the community are X. So it's like the likelihood of meeting the person that matches your lifestyle is less likely that it's going to be a black man. That doesn't mean it can't be a black man. And depending on where you live, it may be different. So what I tell people to do is always be open-minded to dating people outside of your race or outside of your culture, because if you keep yourself limited to saying, I'm only going to date within my race because of XYZ, you have just alienated like 80% of the people that are eligible for you to marry and you could be happy with. My wife is white, and I don't think I've ever dated or known many black women that is like my wife, as far as her dad, police officer, her parents were in the military, kind of all the same things that I like personally, and who I am today. Donald Trump supporter. My wife is a crazy conservative. She's crazier than me. And so finding somebody like that, I've never met a black woman like my wife. So you have to be open-minded to be able to date somebody outside your race. All right, I think we got 2 more voicemails, and then we're going to go to post-show clarity. All right, roll the clip.
Hey, Brandon, just got a quick question. What was it like playing against Rob Gronkowski in college on the practice field? I know you were on the same team as him. And when was the last time you spoke with him on the phone or in person? And if you haven't in a while, would you be interested in having him on your show? Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's a great observation. Some of y'all don't know, if you don't know, I did play in college with Rob Gronkowski, and it was a nightmare covering Rob Gronkowski. It just was a nightmare. And I think that people know that I'm honest. Like, I was an All-American athlete. I'm a 6'2" safety. I was stronger than everybody, faster than everybody. Just about everybody. Not everybody, but just about everybody. And Gronkowski was impossible to cover. He just was. Like, one-on-one, it's impossible. He's so sloppy. Like people. I won't say sloppy may not be the. He's wild. So when you covering a regular tight end, you can lock them up easy. They're not as fast or whatever the case may be. But Gronkowski is wild, dude. Like, when he running his routes, he just. And then you get hit in the eye, elbow hit you, leg hit you in the shin. You like trying to cover, and then he's tall. He's 6'6", so then they throw the ball up, and it's almost impossible to out-jump him at 6'2", 5'11". Most safeties are kind of shorter. He was a nightmare. That's why he did so well in the NFL, because they can't cover him. Rob Gronkowski, when he was a freshman, he came in, everybody was like, he could have gone to the NFL. Rob Gronkowski could have played the NFL from high school. It's like him, Adrian Peterson, and like 2 or 3 other people, I think, could have played in the NFL from high school. It was just a matter of time before he left the University of Arizona. He was strong as an ox. I think he did like 4 or 5. He's a rep 4 or 5 on bench. A big kid. He was a big kid. You know, y'all see him now. He was like that in college. Goofy. It was like a joke, dude. But that dude would show up on game day and put in the work. I saw him knock out Ellison, which is the safety, when what's his name? Donnell Bing and Keith Ellison were safeties at University of Southern California, USC. And them was the baddest 2 safeties in the nation. Ellison had to be like 230-pound safety. And I will never forget this as sure as I'm sitting here. Gronkowski goes over the middle, and he catches the ball. He wasn't even looking. Ellison came through the later boom and got knocked out and went to sleep on the field. And Gronkowski was a freshman. And I said, it is crazy. I haven't talked to Gronkowski since we were in college. Now, y'all know how I go. I'm a Trump supporter, and so a lot of dudes I play football with don't even talk to me. They don't follow me. They don't talk to me. Although when we were in college, we were all cool. So I don't know if he's one of those people. If I saw Gronkowski, I would love, say what's up to him. And I would love to have him on my show if he wanted to be on the show. So, yeah, cool. Last voicemail.
Officer Tatum, this is Jordan calling you from Michigan. A little bit colder than Arizona. Look, man, why you got to hate on mulattoes, bro? What's wrong with mulattoes, man? I hear you talking all kinds of nonsense about us.
Mulattoes?
You saying we're dumb, we're questionable, all these things, but yeah, your son's mulatto. But I know what it is, man. I know exactly what's going on here. Well, really, I don't, but I'm going to say this anyway. It's because you're jealous. We're coming back up. We're making a comeback. We got this nice, light skin, guaranteed. We got these light, beautiful eyes. What's going on, man? Let's just move on. Say you love mulattoes. Let's keep it moving. I appreciate all that you're doing. Keep it going, Officer Tatum. I'm going to keep cracking up with the things you do, especially your lion calls when another lion jumps on another lion's back. Come on, man. Have me rolling. Crying. Appreciate you. God bless.
At first, I thought he was being weirdo, man. I'm like, what? No, I ain't got nothing against you mixed. Man, all my kids mixed. You know what's funny? People don't realize this. Like, I only have mixed kids, and both of my sons look like each other, even though they have different mamas. Which I'm ashamed to say that. Like, dude, that was 15 years ago or something. Like, I still am ashamed that, like, I got to say, I got my 2 baby mamas. Like, it's just so, like, I wish I can go back and I had all my kids with one woman that I married. Like, it's like I still deal with this to this day. of like feeling like, dang. And so I tell my boys, you know, get married, have a kid, you know what I mean? Because it just look bad. I got a baby mama. I'm a typical black man with multiple kids with women. You know, it is what it is. And I knew better when I did it. But yeah, my kids, it's funny because I don't know my kids to look like, you know, when I was a kid, me and my brother, our parents are both black. And so we were caramel like this. And all my pictures, all my families, there's no mixed kids in my family. Well, for the most part. And now I look at my little boys and I'm like, these little boys look just like me, but they're white. You know what I'm saying? They like white boys. They look like me though. It's kind of funny. I never think about it until I thought about it the other day. I'm like, man, you look just like me, but you got nice little curly hair like a white boy. Little white kids running around look like me. It's kind of funny. But I love my boys, man. And very proud to be able to have children and able to have boys. And, you know, I got a little legacy. Little boys with my name. And they don't know it. But one day when they get older, they're going to be proud of that name. And they're going to be, you know, they're going to understand who their daddy was. And they're going to be proud, like I'm proud of my daddy. So, but anyway. All right. I think that's it. Love you guys. Also, the best bourbon in America, Verdict Bourbon. If you're a bourbon drinker or if you bourbon adjacent, make sure you go on the Verdict and get you some bourbon a day. Look at the comment section. Put the thing on here so people can see it. VerdictBourbon.com. VerdictBourbon.com. 21 and over. Drink responsibly. Hold the phone. We'll see you guys in post show.